Hey everybody, this is Cole and Chad. We are in Faith and Failure, and you are listening to Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Hell yeah, you are. Another episode of Heavy Mental Breakdown. I'm here with some of the boys from Faith and Failure, and we were just talking a little bit before this. And you guys are out in Columbus, Ohio. What is the metal scene out like there in Columbus, Ohio? Or do you guys have to kind of go to some of the other cities in Ohio to kind of get more of that metal fan base that you're trying to reach out to?
It's pretty good. I mean, I would say it took a hit after COVID for sure. I think the pre-metal scene or the pre-COVID metal scene was definitely a lot better. There were more venues. Like I think that was probably the biggest thing was there was a handful of venues like the Alrosa that closed, Big Room Bar that closed, Double Happiness that closed. So a lot of places that held metal all the time, and so that part sucked. But there's been some bands a little while after everything sort of kind of went back to normal or whatever you want to say. So there's more bands now because I don't think a lot of them kind of stuck past COVID. I mean, there was a handful that did for sure, but I think it's in a much better place now than it was, pretty much over the beginning of the 2020s. But
Gotcha.
I mean, it's good. There's a lot of great bands that we're awesome friends with, and like that make a lot of great music and stuff. So it's a cool scene, and we're all, like I said, we're all friends, and it's not really like a competitive thing. Everybody supports everybody. So
Cool.
it's
Yeah,
really
I think I found you guys. Speaking about bands that you're friends with, I think I originally found you guys from Eden Has Fallen.
yeah, Thomas. Yep.
Yo, you guys, okay, cool. Have you guys ever done a show together or anything?
Yeah, we did do one.
Cool.
Chad actually just recently went up and did guest vocals with them at a show they had.
Oh, hell yeah. That's
Yeah, it
cool.
was a blast.
Yeah,
It was a good time.
it was ironically at the place that we played our first show with them at. But Thomas has
Nice.
been awesome. He's been kind of been our merch guy for a while this year too. So
Very cool. Yeah, it was fun chatting with him a couple months ago. Good guy. Good guy. He seems to really love what he does and
yeah, he's awesome.
loves Columbus, you know.
Yeah.
Cool. You gotta love it. So how long has Faith and Failure been a band for? How long have you guys been doing this?
Unofficially, man, I don't know. Probably say 2016, but officially I would say 2019. And I say unofficially because our bassist Matt and I came back from California and was got back to Ohio, and him and I were working because we've been best friends since we met each other in the sixth grade, so we've known each other basically our whole lives. And
Cool.
him and I started writing, and then it was like it took a little while to kind of fill in the rest of the band and find the right pieces, but like 2019 is the year that we basically started playing like our first shows, released like our first our first music and everything. So we've been around for a couple of years in that sense, but maybe a little bit further.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you guys were kind of building something and it took kind of a minute to kind of get the wheels turning, and then right when you did, about a year later, the universe was like, hold on, oh wait, I'm gonna put you guys on pause for a minute. How did you guys get through that time as kind of just being like, you know what, we're gonna do this. Let's start playing shows, let's start making music, let's make an impact out here. And then that happens. How did COVID affect you guys?
You want to take that one, Chad?
Well, honestly, we just started, writing more and recording more. So that definitely got us through it. I mean, some of the best stuff I feel, we did during that time because we just spent so much time together. We still got together. We still hung out. We, still played privately. We even
The underground Columbus shows.
yeah. There's a thing called Garage Bands Live. Shout out to Gilly, but yeah, it's
Rock
cool.
bands live.
Yeah, have you heard of that?
No.
Basically, this dude's garage, and he's got it's all live stream because live streams were starting around, and he was the guy like locally that was like, "I'm going to bring bands on. We're going to live stream their shows so people can watch from home." And that got our
He had
need to play shows.
He's a professional videographer. So he had like a 5-car garage basically, and like 2 of them were converted into like a full-on control room. The other 3 were the live room, and they had like multiple people who worked. It was like a legitimate operation. Like they, professional lights, a huge stage it's set up there. I mean, probably 4 or 5 different cameras. They had all this stuff set up to where like it was all multi-stream. So like we'd have like the TV monitors to where we could see the chat, like the collective chat from everybody. I mean, it was a whole thing. We did many shows. I mean, I think we did like 4 years in a row or 3 years in a row, something like that, where we would go there at least once a year and just play. We'd usually go like in the wintertime when like actual shows would slow down because of the weather. But it was awesome.
Take that into consideration too.
Yeah, and that was cool. So we got to do that. But like Chad said, we wrote a lot. The guy who we've been recording with forever, he kept working. He was like, if you guys are cool, like I'm cool with it, because he's got a building built for his studio outside, and it's a big building, but you were still pretty close to everybody, so we were all like, yeah, we're fine. So we that was the time that we finished like writing and recording our EP, which actually we were talking about, not like maybe last week or something. Turns 5 years old in March, so cool. We're talking about doing like an anniversary re-release and do some special stuff for it, some acoustic stuff, some alternate artwork, merch. We're thinking about doing like a vinyl, like a limited run of vinyls for it and everything. So
kind of like a proper tour and kind of celebration that you would have wanted to have done a little bit more back then.
Yeah, because we released it, like we couldn't really. I mean, it got released in 2021, but so I mean, we did get to play, but it was just kind of like things were like slowly starting to ramp back up. So it wasn't like we got to go out and play it as much as we would have wanted to. So it would be cool to be able to do it now that we've grown a lot as a band, and we've done a lot of this other stuff, and now that we're working with like management and everything, that we've got like a proper team behind us who can help us push this stuff out and kind of get it. Because we always joke that like, we've been putting music out for 5-6 years now, but like there's so many people who might discover us and everything is brand new. Yeah. So to kind of highlight something that we were all really proud of, and it's the only EP we've done. Everything else has been singles, so just to kind of highlight that and do some cool stuff to celebrate it is, it's going to be a fun thing to do once the spring rolls around. Yeah, I respect that. That's cool. And you can almost do like a played in its entirety 5-year anniversary. Yeah. Like that's cool. Would you want to do like a tour kind of for that, like maybe a small one or something? Are you thinking like more just some local places, or what's the plan for doing that? I mean, like with our manager, we've been talking about doing like weekend Warrior Run type deals. Like the great thing about Columbus is like you can drive up to 8 hours and you can be to Chicago or St. Louis or Milwaukee or New York, Buffalo, Detroit, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, DC. Yeah. Like, there's so many places you can go. And, I mean, obviously you got Cleveland, Cincinnati and stuff too. So you go down to Louisville. So we're just talking about like trying to take advantage of that because, we all have jobs. So it's not like we can just like at the drop of a hat, drop everything and, go on the road for a month or something. So just trying to do that stuff and then just pairing it with just, other shows, whether they're in Columbus or around Ohio or, just sort of wherever, but I think a lot of it is, it's also the online aspect of like, if you are going to go play these new places, like, you're going to probably go with a band and support them who is more well known, but you still need to like, as far as the internet is concerned, you need to get your foot in the door there with advertising and things like that, and just try to hope that you catch the eye of some people there, so they might see, oh, hey, they're coming by, like, love to go check it out or something.
You never know who's going to see what, and you never know who's going to show up. It could be the most random place in the most random city on like a Monday night or like a Tuesday night, but you just never know. So I love that mindset of it being like, let's just go, let's promote it, let's go with these other bands and network, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's all, like, that's a huge part of just like the fun of being in a band.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. So, Faith in Failure. Describe that name. Where did that name come from, and why did you guys decide to go that route?
There's no special meaning behind it, honestly. It's because we get asked that question a lot, because it's like a name that I think if you kind of look at it, you're like, oh, maybe there's like a deeper meaning to it, and it really wasn't. Like, when I was in grad school, I was living at home at the time, and I was hanging out with, I have a younger sister, so we were just kind of hanging out, watching TV or whatever, and we were coming up with like purposefully bad band names just to try to make each other laugh. So while we were doing that, just kind of watching TV, there was like a commercial on for something. I don't remember what it was, but it didn't say Faith in Failure, but it was like something kind of along the lines. So like it caught my ear, and then I heard it, and then I kind of said like Faith in Failure, and I'm like, hey, no, like I don't hate that name. And she was like, yeah, no, it's not bad. So I put it in my phone, and then like a couple days later, I saw it again, and I didn't hate it, and I'm like, okay. And she, I was like, what do you think of this one? And she's like, no, I think that's a good one. So I think it was, I don't know, it's just something that like it seemed like it would catch, like if you heard it or you hear, you see it or something, might catch people's eyes. But it's been funny because like, there's the idea that maybe it has like a specific meaning or something or whatever. And then the other thing is, especially early on, we were always getting mixed up with like or being like a Christian metal band, just because of, I'm assuming Faith being in the name.
Sure. Yeah.
And that always led to some funny stuff, because some of our music would get played on these like these online Christian radio stations, and I'm like, I don't think you know what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Like, we had a song called
especially. Yeah, it's got the F word in it a lot.
Yeah, it's a song about killing yourself. And it's and yeah, it says the F word in it a few times, and I'm like, this was because we kept getting tagged on Twitter, and they'd be like, oh, now playing Sleepless by Faith and Failure. I'm like, I don't know how much longer that's gonna last, because we don't have like
you're gonna have that Faith mob coming at you and be like, you guys are frauds. You're not a faith-based band.
It's like, listen, we never claimed to be. You did.
And then you're like, we're gonna listen to Eden Has Fallen instead. Then that's what we're gonna go and do.
See, now there you go. They are a metal band, so more people should listen to them anyways. So.
You might hear the two of us on one of their tracks coming up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we talked about doing a collaboration, so that'll be fun.
So who inspired you guys to wanna to start this band and play the kind of music that you do? Who are some of your biggest influences?
You want to go first?
Well, everybody loves Avenged Sevenfold in this band.
Yeah.
There's the number one. Like I said earlier, that's a sacred subject of Avenged Sevenfold. we're not worthy.
Yeah, we almost didn't even do this podcast tonight because Cole and I jumped on and we talked about Avenged Sevenfold and our tattoos and how we've seen them 15, 16, 17 times. And I was almost just like, I just do a new podcast about Avenged Sevenfold. That's what we're going to do. And then Chad jumps on. He's like, I love Avenged Sevenfold. I'm like, you know what? This was a great idea.
Before he mentions, I don't know if you've listened to our most recent single, Troubled Times, but he pulls off like a spot on M Shadow's like vocal performance on it. It's really impressive.
What a voice.
Oh yeah.
So besides Avenged Sevenfold, who else are you guys inspired by?
Go for it.
Me?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I like a lot of power metal, and I like obviously a lot of like emo bands and like death metal. So like I try to do as much as I can vocally, style wise. So you'll listen to a song and I'll be like doing 30 different things. But lyric wise, I love Dio. I think Dio is the greatest lyricist of all time.
Nice.
Yeah, I just like I love like if I wasn't doing this band, I would probably be like I would probably write novels, but I I don't know where to start when it comes to that. Like when I gotta if I gotta write like a 200-page book, I don't think I'd be able to do that. But you know, writing lyrics,
You never know,
I can tell a
man.
lot.
You never
And,
know.
yeah.
And it's never too late. It's never too late to try it.
Yep. I got too many hobbies, and you know, my wife is kind of on me about it right now because I like paint Warhammer, I play video games, I'm in a band, you know.
Yeah.
I bought another guitar earlier this year. She was like, "How dare you?" You know,
How about you, Cole?
money on all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's the Avenged Sevenfold stuff. I mean, they weren't even just like the band thing. It was the reason why I got into playing guitar and like I'm a full-time music teacher, so like
Oh, very cool.
the guitar is my career, and that is because I discovered them in 2004, you know, so it's kind of like one of those fork in the road moments, you know, basically. But like I also said, I just love like a lot of the 2000s metalcore stuff, you know, the 578 riffs, you know, they never grow old. But I love a lot of bands. I mean, as a guitar player, I listen to a lot of bands for their guitar players. So like, you know, Sinister Gates is definitely my favorite, but like Jake Pitts from Black Veil Brides is another one of my favorites. So been a big fan of them. But I also love, you know, like Bullet for My Valentine, the Human Abstract, who is probably the one like progressive like metal band I think I've actually like stuck with. But you know, like Atreyu.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you're probably big on Atreyu and Trivium and Killswitch and all those dudes.
Yeah, all that stuff.
I get you guys. I get who you are. I get who you are as people.
Yeah, and even now, like Ice Nine Kills is another one.
Sure.
You know, Motionless in White. Just a lot of that stuff. I mean, I went to Warped Tour pretty much every year from like 2009 to like 2017. So like,
Nice.
all the bands that you would have seen, you know, Pierce the Veil is another one, but I also love like My Chemical Romance and Green Day and different things. I grew up in punk music first, so a lot of that stuff, you know, Rancid, No Effects, Social Distortion,
Hell yeah,
Goldfinger.
I just got to work for the Casualties a couple of weeks ago, and that was one of my geekiest moments ever, is working for my favorite punk band of all time, the Casualties. Yeah, man, I remember their mosh pits at Warped Tour were some of the biggest ones I had ever seen, ever.
The first punk band I ever discovered was MXPX, and it was by like total accident. And then that was in like '98, and then it was like, you know, the next year was like Enema of the State came out, and then so I started getting into pop punk. But that's also when like Tony Hawk came out, so then I was
Goldfinger
fans,
and
it just kind of went from there, you know. And then obviously like new metal, listening to like Papa Roach and Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, etc. You know, System of a Down, you know. So still listen to all that stuff too, but yeah, like that 2000s metalcore is just like it's like, to me, it's the greatest era of metal of all time.
Hell yeah, I love that. I can't
than the 578s.
Dude,
I can't.
578 all day long.
There's nothing that I can say to be like, you know what? Well, what about this? Because I'm just like, I agree. That's my time era too. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck yeah, it is.
Hell yeah.
Wait and bleeds and chop sueys and the ends and fucking black eyeliner with MCR and
all the mall emo stuff, you know, like Bless the Fall. Actually, I don't know, I can't believe I forgot about them. They're one of my favorite bands also of all time, is Bless the Fall. I actually just saw them a couple weeks ago too, and up in Cleveland.
So, very cool.
Yeah, like the Hollow Bodies album is it's a 10 out of 10. Like that.
Are they doing like a reunion tour for that or something like that, or?
That they did a 10-year anniversary where they did the whole album in full, but that was 2023.
Oh, okay.
But they put out a new album this year called I think it's called Gallows, and like it's what you wanted them to put out. Basically, they didn't octane core themselves or anything. They actually have a song called Malcore, and they did a video for it, kind of along the lines of like the Hey Baby video, where they like it's a movie in the song, and there's a clip where Bo's working at a Hot Topic. These girls come in and they're like, "Hey, you know, I can't believe this band canceled." He's like, "Hey, I have a band." He's like, "Our shirts used to be on these walls." Yeah. And the one girl's like, "Oh, what if they're butt rock?" And the other girl goes, "What if they're octane core?"
That one hurts a little deep just because I used to work at Hot Topic. That was my first job ever.
I never.
When I was like,
I always wanted
15 years old, just like.
Oh yeah. Was it like the Gates of Hell Hot Topic?
My sister started working there before me, and so I was there all the time. So I don't really remember if the Gates were there when I first started working there. I want to say that they were.
Hell yeah.
But I know for a fact, like when I first started going there and loving the store, it was the Gates. Now I can't even walk into it.
Yeah.
Wild.
There's one right by my house, and I go there every now and then, but I'm like, it's so not, you know.
Yeah, it's yeah. They got to change it to not topic to a hot topic. Yeah. Anyway, so these lyrics that you guys write, who's the songwriter? Who is the one who does most of the lyrics, or do you guys kind of just like sit down in a room together and be like, let's write some cool shit together?
He does the lyrics, I do the music. So you got the two people who write everything.
Perfect. All right, so
whoa.
Uh-oh.
Now, I do all the vocal melodies as well, and hooks are the most important thing in music. Now, if I'm trying to put a hook on something and something needs changed, that's when I talk to that guy. I'm like, you need to change that. We don't need 8 more choruses. We don't need that. This is what we need.
Well, you're the novel guy, so it kind of just comes natural to kind of write a lot. You're like, I have so much in my head. I've got so much I want to get out, but we don't want every song to be a 9-minute Strength of the World like orchestra, you know, like that's just not so good, fucking love that song, or an 8-minute Little Piece of Heaven.
What's funny is we have 2 7-minute long songs.
Well, there you go.
I do get crazy though when I have an idea, like I can't contain it. I have to tell somebody, so I'll call this guy and he won't answer, and then I'll call Matt, our bass player, and I'm like, hey, he didn't answer, but this you really like, you have nothing to do with this, but like I have this idea that I want to tell Cole, and here it is, and we'll talk for 2 hours about it, and then Cole will call me back, and I'll talk for 2 hours about it again. So it's awesome. Well,
what I love about this, it sounds like the way that you guys write your music, just even from like the very beginning of what are the lyrics. It seems like you guys have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And I love that. I love that because it shows that like you're putting that effort and that emotion into these lyrics, and you're sharing with each other, you're bouncing ideas off each other, and it's coming from a place where, okay, I actually need to write less. I've written so much and so much I want to say and put out there. So that's awesome. That's awesome that you guys are that way together and you approach your music like that. Like it's almost like every because like once you start to narrow it down too, it's like every lyric and every line has to be there for a reason. When you really start to narrow things down, it's like, okay, this line's going in for this reason, and this line needs to be this because of that reason. So it shows just like how much like the work ethic and how much you guys are putting into it. So then Chad, when you're writing the lyrics, where are you mentally? Do you try to pull ideas and in lyrics from past things that have happened, whether they're good or bad, or for traumas, or does something kind of just spark an idea and you're like, oh, I'm gonna write a song about this, and then kind of work it around a feeling? Like, what is your method of songwriting?
Well, I definitely think that, like, because, you know, I've hit rock bottom. Everybody's hit rock bottom. But, like, of course, like, I have pain deep down about that. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, when I'm writing lyrics and I'm writing all these stories, I just want to tell the story of, like, the whatever the main character is, like, whatever he's feeling at the time. Like, I'm trying to, like, channel into him or her or whoever it is, and I'm like, how are they feeling right now? Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna say? Like, where does it go from here? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
when I write lyrics though, I actually like I do the like I'll write the melodies first, and then they'll just be kind of hums. And then when I finally have a killer idea, like when I'm at in the shower at like 11:30 p.m. Like that's when I'm calling Cole, like, hey man, like I just got out of the shower and this is what I want to do.
Still in the towel and all. You're just you can't contain it.
It's either that or he calls you when I'm teaching. And I can't answer because I'm teaching.
Gotcha. I call it the worst times, like for me and for him. But it's whenever I know what I'm gonna, like I will never tell him like half of something. Like I'm like, okay, like if I were to type it out, it would probably like there's not enough storage on my phone. Like I would hit the max character limit like probably 5 times. Like so I gotta call him. Like, hey, I need to talk to you for 4 hours about this idea that I had. It does this, and this.
Well, if you have that much to say and there's that many words that you want to put down, dude, you could totally write that novel.
Oh, totally.
You could totally do it.
Totally. Yeah.
And you should kind of work, like, put in a little bit of work like 1 week and then just sit with it and digest it. Like you do with like what you do with lyrics, and then come back the next week and add a little more. In a couple months, dude, you'll have your novel.
Well, I really like, so our bass player Matt, he is a phenomenal like artist. Like digitally, he draws just this crazy stuff. He actually does all of our art.
Cool.
And I'm like, dude, like we need to get together because like I'll do the lyrics and I'll tell him the concept and then he will draw whatever it is. And I'm like, we need to get together and we need to do a comic book. And he's like, well, that costs money and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but we got to do it. Like, it's not for anyone else but us, just the two of us. You know what I mean? So that's more the route I would kind of go if I'm gonna tell the stories in way more words than I do now. So
yeah, visuals that go along with it are always a huge benefit, and that's great that you guys have an internal band member who does your artwork for you, because that stuff does get pricey and expensive. Doing logos and t-shirt designs and banner artwork and all of that. And I see a black tail, so that was kind of cool. Oh,
Stubbs. She's a little camera shy.
Oh, I love
my cat was down here. My cat was down here talking, so I had to mute the mic for a little bit. He's gone now though.
No, we always, any cat on Heavy Mental Breakdown is part of the group. They're part of the band. Cats do not get in the way. Cats only enhance the interviews by like 50%.
Cole has 12 cats right now.
11.
You have 11 cats?
No, it's 10
not
and a half. 10 and a half cats.
10 and a half cats.
Yeah, like this one here was one that she was put outside when she was still a kitten, and by people who lived down the street from us who didn't want to take anything to do with them. So we took care of her outside, and like she got pregnant twice, and we fostered her litters, and we ended up keeping a couple of them, and then we finally caught her when she almost died, and it's just because of that house that's down the street who did that with a couple of cats. We ended up they never got them fixed, so they were always getting pregnant, and it's like you can't foster all of them, and you're not just gonna leave them outside. So you know, like when I met my wife, she had 3 cats already, so it wasn't like I had to convince her or anything. It was just more like,
yeah,
I guess we have another
well
one.
that's cool. I have a lot of respect for people who take in cats and take care of them and love them. They have a very huge place in my heart. So we are here because of a song that you guys wrote called The Tower. Chad, why don't you give a little bit of background on The Tower and kind of how that idea of that song and those lyrics kind of came to you?
Well, I messed it up the first time. So we wrote it, we went in and recorded it, and we were all like, man, this is just isn't right. Like, especially me, I was like, this like can't sound this way. I got to figure it out. But it was just like the vocal melodies, and then like for a person that writes a lot about like fictional stuff, like it wasn't really like I don't know if you've ever like drawn something or made something where you're like, you know what, I need to revisit that. So that's what we did,
All the
and
time.
yeah, with the tower, I was like, it's not going to be about this anymore. It's going to be about this, and I made this. Ended up coming up with this sick story. So the tower is about this guy who is trapped in a dimension, and he's the only one that's conscious. Actually, everybody else they're actually livestock, and he's almost like a vampire. Like he's immortal, but he needs to be kept alive, like with blood. So all this massive field of just thousands of people in this marsh in this tower. So he's in the top of the tower, and then there's just all this livestock of humans unconscious in this marsh, and they're keeping him alive. But he doesn't want to live. He wants to die. He's been there way too long. Doesn't remember his own name. We call him Stan. I think he's sick. He's a sick character. Well, he decides he wants to end it, but the kind of person he is, he does not want to like leave everybody like that. You know what I mean?
I have a really quick question. Did you offer him a fifth of vodka before you started to drive?
Yeah.
I like that you caught that, Cole.
Stan Eminem.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think that one went over Chad's head.
I think it did. You might have to elaborate.
No, Eminem's biggest song called Stan.
That's where the whole, like, if you're a stan of somebody, that's where that came.
My bad.
Yeah, that's where that came from. But he has a song called Stan, and it's about this obsessed fan who drinks a fifth of vodka and asks if they dare him to drive.
Kills him and his pregnant
Yeah,
girlfriend.
because he wants, like, he's gonna die, like he's almost like gonna kill himself. And you talk about like this guy doesn't want to live. So my mind goes, oh, there's this guy named Stan, and you guys knowing your time era and like your music, I'm like, oh, they got to be Eminem fans too of this time and that song. So I totally thought when I said that. Yeah. So I totally thought that's where you were going. You were going with it.
Yeah. Well, Stan doesn't drink vodka. He actually drinks.
He's a whiskey guy. Oh, green wine.
Yeah, green wine. And his room that he's locked in. It's all like it's a library, so there's books everywhere. It says in the song, like I've read these books for the last time because he's read them over and over again. He's very, very smart too. Yeah,
sounds like a Henry Bemis from Twilight Zone character. Sounds like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, like Twilight Zone episodes, all of our songs are self-contained stories. So.
Love it. Yeah, it sounds. You talk about a comic book. Like, I would love to read a comic book based on just this song alone.
Well, the story for this song is actually linked with several others because when we did the EP, we talked about there's a song called "The Fields," and it's just interdimensional chaos. So like we're literally like doing like a Marvel multiverse thing. There's one thing that links them all on the cover of the like art. He's holding a book, and in the book it has a magical teleporting like time traveling green sword called the Oma. And we have another song called Oma. And all the songs that year, they had that green sword on every cover. And
that is so cool.
Yeah,
I love it. And I love how like excited you are when you talk about it. Like I feel like I just want to like. All right, this is "The Tower" by Faith and Failure. Let's break it down.
I want to live from the light.
What a powerful first verse that is. Like, not even just the lyrics, but just the way that you deliver the lyrics, the different types of screams, the on the guitars, almost even reminds me of like a Bullet for My Valentine kind of little riff right there.
100%.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so these lyrics, I've watched the land from a high tower. I feed in the marsh I tend, blood wells thrive. Why in this dimension? Where is the broken glass? Kick back, relax, because my time here will last. I see your face in the dark. All right, poet, novelist, Chad. What does this first verse mean to you?
It's definitely telling the setting of the story. To me, it means he's been there a long time. It doesn't really show that he's sick of being there yet. But he is asking questions like, "Why am I here? Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? What am I doing wrong?
Why in this dimension?" I like that line.
Why am I here? Like, this is like the worst possible experience I could be in right now. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm like, he's starting to ask questions like what's going on? Like, I don't want to be here.
The last line there in the verse, kick back, relax, because my time here will last. To me, that line is pretty heavy, because it almost seems like I'm going through this hard time. I don't like where I'm at, but I have to sit here and relax because I'm going to be stuck with it anyway.
Yeah, all he's got to do is read. He doesn't. He did like. Well, we'll find out in the next verse, but he's just like, when you're there for it's pain that's drug out, right? So he's already like been living it. It's like, I'm not only for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Like, I've been doing this long. Like, what's going on? What's going to give?
I don't know if you had said this in your explanation and kind of breakdown of what the song was about originally, but the tower. I've watched the land from a high tower. What is the tower? Where is that? He's
in a tower in the middle of a marsh. And the livestock of people that keep him alive. So he is in a room with no doors, no windows, but there's a balcony you can kind of look over, but he can't you can't get close enough to like jump off or look down. Like, there's so many people that he can look into the horizon and there's still people there.
Interesting. So yeah, he's in a place where he can't escape. He can't get out of it. And kick back, relax, because I'm going to be here for a minute. Fuck.
Yeah, like, it might as well. Like,
yeah.
What am I going to do today? I guess I'll read the same book I just read, last week. Take a nap.
Seems bored. It just the way that it's kind of structured right now. It's kind of bringing me back to like 2020, when we were stuck indoors. We couldn't really do anything else but like read a book or work on projects and stuff like that. Even though the story has a message already and a character and everything, there's a lot here that you can relate to, just everyday life and things that have happened the last couple of years, and just your own perspective on it. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and he it's not just that he's bored. Like, he knows he's very smart. Like, he knows he's hurting all the people out there. And I don't know if you, like, when we pulled up the other video, you saw like he's got these tubes that are like connected to him like everywhere. So that can't feel good, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in a lot of pain, and he knows he's hurting everybody else, because if like he's got these hoses on his back, like the other people got him too. You know what I mean?
It almost seems like the weight that we all have to carry, that we don't want to let go of, or can't let go of. We all got it. Wells of blood, I lurk watching from above. They mock me. The tower shakes, I fall. Holding on, reaching out, why can't you show me your hands? The sky, it blinks, I fall. They mock me. So not only are you somewhere that you don't want to be and you're miserable, but like everyone just makes fun of you too. And you just feel like you can't really trust anybody. Is that kind of what that intention there is for this guy? Just feeling like no one even likes him. He's got no friends. They mock him. Kind of like that outcast.
He's definitely alone, right?
Yeah.
And they mock him in a way that like it's not like they're making fun of him. They mock him in a way like it's like pretty annoying that he knows that he's all these people are suffering because of him. And then holding on, reach out. Why can't you show me your hand? Like, there's nobody here to get him out of this situation. Like, if he were to do it, he has to do it himself. And I think that hurts just as deep as everything else, right? Like, imagine going through like anything where you like hit that rock bottom, and you know, I got to pull myself out of this. Like, I need to lay out what I need to do and do it. But he's scared to at the same time.
Going through kind of like a spiritual awakening almost in your life when you get out of that rock bottom and you have to work yourself back up. It is not an easy thing to do. And like you said, you know, we've all kind of been at a place at a rock bottom, so we all know, whether we're this character or not, we know the challenge that it takes to do that, and how not easy it can be. So I definitely appreciate this course here. Cole, is there anything that you'd like to add in about any of this so far?
I mean, we always joke lyrically because you know, I in my head, seeing the lyric video, I have in my head like what I think the lyrics are.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, I'll do a decent amount of backing vocals live, and if I'm not careful, sometimes I'll sing like what I think it is, you know, as kind of like the meme versus like what the actual lyrics are.
Yeah.
But no, it's always just fun. Like we also always joke that we never know what the song is going to sound like as far as the vocals or what the lyrics are until like we're literally in the studio and he goes into the booth and starts tracking, you know. So we're always just as surprised as you know our producer is when it's like, 'cause when I send him like the pre-pros, I'm like, he knows that there's going to be no vocals, so it's like we're going to find it all out together.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool that you do it in the moment there, and it's kind of like, okay, you know, if you kind of sit and think about it, how we're going to do when we get there, you might overthink it and already have something planned. But it's pretty cool how you do it in the fact where it is kind of a spontaneous, and it's how's it going to be done, and it almost feels like that's when it should be chosen, and that's when you're feeling the most.
Ironically enough, this was the only song where initially that kind of formula or whatever didn't work.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, I think he had lyrics from like an old song that he wanted to use for this one, and like he was saying earlier, it just like it didn't really, I don't know, it just didn't really, I guess, fit super well with it. I remember something that we laugh about is when he was tracking the vocals. I think like a melody that he was using in like the chorus wasn't in the same key as the song. And our producer's like, do you know what key the song's in? He's like, yeah. He goes, no, I don't think you do. You know, but no, it was cool because you know, it motivated him to basically just kind of go back and come up with something from scratch. And this was the only song that we've ever like we had to go back when we went to record something different to come back and like, hey, we got to finish this song now. Because everything else, whether we're going in and just doing like one song at a time or doing two or whatever, we always get everything finished. So when our studio time is done, like the only thing that needs left or needs to be done is just the mixing and mastering. But this is the one time we had to go back, and it was cool because it definitely worked out for the best. And the song is I think it hit its potential, and it's something that we don't play 100% of the time, but we play like 98% of the time at a live show. So it's become a staple of our live shows as well.
It almost sounds like the process of recording this was pretty intense for your voice, Chad. Like those screams are pretty brutal.
The screaming,
or is that just you?
Just like talking, bro. It's just like talking, man.
To me, whenever I hear screams like that, I'm just like, I need a cup of tea with some honey right now, or some water. It's so crazy how some things can just come natural to some other people, and somebody else. It seems like I've always wanted to be a screamer when I was in and out of like bands in high school and stuff. My throat, I don't know. Never been able to do it. This might be my favorite verse. I've read this book. Nice. Yeah, I've read this book for the last time. More wine. Like, fuck this book. I'm over it. I want to be somewhere else right now. I want to be somewhere. That would make a great like band shirt or sticker or something for you guys. Just more wine. I love it.
Yeah, that would be sick. Why haven't we thought of that?
And it could be like a vampire glass and just like more wine. And you guys put that shirt out, I'm buying it. Never getting out, never know. What did death do to me? Why am I suffering? Hello to Shadow. Who the fuck are you? Oh no, sorry. How the fuck are you?
Yeah, he's talking to people that aren't there.
Oh.
You've seen the movies where they're going crazy. I mean, like he's literally talking to like the dark corner.
Yeah. Some Sixth Sense kind of shit almost. Why am I suffering? Hello to Shadow. How are you? I love it. I love it a lot. It puts you in a different universe, like you were saying earlier. It is a different universe.
Yeah, you gotta visualize when you listen to this stuff.
Yeah, you do. That's why it's fun to break these things down like this, because it's like I didn't when I first heard this, it hit one way, but then now you're telling me, oh, he's talking to himself, and I didn't really get that at first, but now you say it, and it totally changes my perspective on that verse, and it's even more of a reason for that to be my favorite one. All right, hold on a minute. So, not only do we break down lyrics here, but whenever I hear a solo that I appreciate, we gotta break that down a little bit too. I definitely hear where some of your influence are coming from there. I can hear the Gates influence there, for
Okay,
sure, for
right out the
sure.
right out the gate. Punt.
Right out the gate. Exactly. And then I like how it like slows down at the end and it kind of fades out with kind of everything else, and then like you hear the toms and it's like, oh shit, something's going to happen right now. That was kind of like a warning, and it almost seems like something is about to happen now with those drums kind of coming in.
Oh yeah.
Break down kind of just that section musically for you, Cole.
That's a solo that but it's weird, like the way that I write guitar solos, it usually goes one of two ways. When I'm writing a song, it's like the last thing that'll get written for a song as far as, what I'm doing. Because I like to sit with it for a while, and like I might finish a song and then, maybe write the guitar solo weeks later or something. But it usually either happens where I just kind of like jam over the section, in Logic or whatever, and just kind of try ideas and some things stick, or I'll at least have part of like I guess I'm a very like I don't want to say a visual person, but like I can listen to something and go, okay, I think like I would play this, and I sort of write a solo tentatively in my head and then kind of try things out, and oh, that worked or that didn't work, sort of a deal. But like this one, this song is really influenced by like the early Bullet for My Valentine stuff. Like you mentioned, like the guitar riff in the verse, and even just kind of the chugs behind it, but the solos always tend to be more, Avenged Sevenfold style, and one of the things that I always like about what Sinister Gates does is like a solo is like a composition within a composition. So you could like just try to shred and play all this super fast stuff for however long the solo is, and that could be cool, and sometimes it might work, but sometimes you need an ebb and flow to a solo. You need to maybe try to find a balance of like, here's some flashy parts versus here's some stuff that maybe kind of pulls it back a little bit. It's maybe a little bit more melodic or whatever. This solo in particular is a little bit more like non-stop, just because of like that's kind of the vibe of the whole song. Like, with the exception of really like the pre-chorus of the song, nothing that you hear up until that point is really kind of like you let off the gas. Everything is very, just pedal to the metal, and like you just kind of go for it. So it was like trying to find a solo that I thought that could basically carry on the same idea, but also like it is its own little thing. So I want to try to balance it. I want to have a melody to it. I want to have like defined parts. It kind of runs the gamut of a lot of stuff. It starts off with like all the sweep picking stuff, and then I'm low pick melody. There's some more sweeping towards the end. There's the tapping. Like, it's kind of like a hodgepodge of a lot of different things. But in a song that's like a lot more, I don't want to say chaotic, but in a song that's a lot more like intense, that kind of lends itself really well to those sorts of solos. And even if you decide like ahead of time, like that's what you want to do, it still has to flow, which is the idea of like the song, or like the solo being like a composition within a composition. So like, just as like you're not going to write a song and just throw a bunch of shit together and then just be like, oh, there it is. You try to write things and design things to where it's like a seamless flow from like one section to the next. So it's taking that idea and then just scaling it down to, okay, there's defined sections of this guitar solo, and they can all kind of stand out on their own, but I think they work the best when they are put together and you kind of see it as a complete picture. And then like you mentioned, like the end of the solo definitely gets slows kind of way down. Like everything kind of slows way down because it's like, again, you know, you've been basically going at, you know, 100 miles an hour, and then it's like you need a little bit of a break, right? You want to let everything kind of come down, and then you want to ramp it back up again.
Yeah.
And ramp it up with something that's new, which is, you know, what happens in the next section. But yeah, it was a fun solo. It's always a fun one to play live, and there's a couple solos that we do where, like, when it's done, you know, you'll hear people be like, they'll like cheer or clap or something, and this is one of them.
Nice.
So it's always fun, you know, especially just being up there playing it, because, you know, it's always awkward, like trying to take like a compliment from somebody, but you know, when
Yeah.
you just kind of play something in the moment and you hear people's, like, I guess, like just sort of natural reaction to it, I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's a feeling that I don't know, but I can't even imagine how cool it would be standing on a stage with some lights behind me, playing an amazing solo and just having people freak out over it. That's dope, man. That's cool.
This is also the one that Chad always introduces me to, which is weird because it's like our second to last song every set. No, so it's always makes me laugh too.
Oh yeah, this guy who's been here the whole show.
We were building up to that. Like, I'm not only introduced, like, hey, this is the guy that played the solo on the tower.
Well, no.
This is the guy that played all these legendary solos you just heard. Like, yeah, check him out. I love him. Give him a kiss after the show.
I mean, I always appreciate it, but I always laugh that it kind of, you know, it happens so late in the set, you know, because pretty much I think almost every song we have has a guitar solo in it. So it's like this. I just think he really likes this one. That's just the one he always.
All right, on the next show, Chad, right when you guys walk out, the first thing you say is, "Now this guy over here to the right of me." And then you get into the first song.
I will say, the first song we usually play is Pestilence, and I do like that song more. That one's like about like pirates, but other than that, like,
yeah.
I could not break it down for you. Like, it's just pirate drunk warfare. It's sweet. But he plays Cliffs of Dover in that solo, I swear. Sounds exactly like Cliffs of Dover.
We have Cliffs of Dover at home. That's the joke.
Cut the throats of thousands.
Yep, he's figured it out. He's going to kill like all of the people so he can finally kill himself. Because like I said earlier, that's not the person he is. He's like not gonna off himself and like leave everybody there just like how they are, because they're suffering too. You know what I mean? So it's like a in both of our sufferings thing. So it's sick. And Cole will tell you about the liquid death can. You can actually hear people screaming and being shocked. We did that by putting like a guitar cable on a liquid death can. You can hear all the screaming people and the zaps. Oh, it's sweet. Because they're being electrocuted
every
all
time.
the time.
Every time we go to record, we always have these like outlandish kind of off the wall ideas. And like with this song in particular, you know, he was explaining, you know, at this point in the song, this is what happened. He's explaining it to our producer, and he's like, we need like a clip of just people just being murdered or screaming or whatever. And so we find some stuff, and he wants them to be electrocuted. So we're like trying, how can we make this? And so we had like empty liquid death cans, and we were just like had a live guitar cable, and we're just tapping it on the can and getting that zapping sound. But then like we're like tracking it and then just, you know, manipulating it in Logic to make it sound like what we want. And you hear in that section, you hear at the end of the song too, and it's always great because you know, live, like that is in our backing tracks.
Cool.
So like when the song ends live, you know, kind of things are ringing out, like you just hear like people just being electrocuted, just blasting through the PA. But I mean, we've done
It's a whole experience, your guys' shows.
Yeah, like he talked about Pestilence, and it's a sword fighting thing or a pirate thing. Like we literally have in the bridge of the song before the guitar solo, there's literally a sword fight, like, and there's like sea shanty chanting and stuff. Like, so we always just like try all these random things, and it was always funny because like in the beginning, the guy that we work with he would always kind of laugh and be like all right, let's try it. And then now, like over the years, like as we go each time, he's like, okay, like what like off the wall thing are we doing this time?
It almost reminds me of like an Alice Cooper kind of show. Like that dude, any of his shows, he's doing crazy things. He's beheading people. He's killing people. He's doing. Every time I've ever seen him, he's very theatrical like that. But I love it. It just adds so much to the experience.
Yeah, we just put that stuff in the songs. I mean,
that's awesome.
We always have like consistency. We always do like the Slipknot keg in a lot of songs. And,
cool.
Or we'll just do kind of whatever. Like we did Hero 2. Chad and our other guitar player Aaron like went out to like a Lowe's or Home Depot and bought like a metal folding chair and a couple of different hammers. And we're like in the live room testing out the sound you could get by just hitting these chairs with hammers and like. It's just
that's cool.
All kinds of stuff. Like with Pestilence too, he wanted a big like organ, like at the like in Pirates of the Caribbean, to the song into this massive like church organ that plays, and we do like a Latin choir thing over it and stuff. So like all these songs that we have, like each one kind of has its like little unique element that is just in that song. And like for this one, it's like you're hearing people being murdered, like people being electrocuted, and we created it literally with a liquid death can.
Well, still, even hearing all this, it just keeps bringing me back to, it seems like you guys are having a fucking blast making music together.
Oh, 100%.
Hell yeah, we are. Hell yeah.
It's like nothing's off the table,
Yeah, and that's great. That's great. You guys, whatever you guys are doing is working. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see.
I do want to add, like when we're talking about the people being electrocuted, that's not how he kills them. When he says cut the throats of thousands, he's literally going around to each person with that sword we were talking about called the Oma. Like it's kind of like in Harry Potter, like in the second one, like how the sword of Gryffindor presents itself to whoever needs it, and he knew what he wanted to do, and that sword appeared, and he needed it. So he's out there murdering people. Well, not murdering them. He's ending their suffering so he can end his own. So he's got to do it over 1,000 times, every throat. But the zapping, so it shocks the tower. There's this realm. It's a lightning storm all the time. The zapping, it electrocutes the tower, and that's how it powers like the transfusion for the blood to get to him. That's what's going on.
This song is deep. I see your face. I see your face in the dark. Hello. I needed blood to fill the mud to live, to help me with my scars.
I think I'm just talking about it's just the pain of everything. Like he's sick of it, and it's not only like a scar to me is like deeper than like what a wound would be, because like I mean, and I know you're gonna say like a scar is healed, but like he's still like he's seeing it like years and years and years later. He doesn't even know how long he's been there, so he's been feeling this pain for a while. That's what I'm referring to. Just long lasting pain.
I like that. That's tough. That long lasting pain.
Yeah, and scars are a reminder too. So like, he's just always thinking about it.
Scars remind us that the past is real.
Yeah.
Tear my heart open.
Exactly.
All right, let's keep rocking out. Well, that is how you end a song. Brrrm. that final blow there at the end. Well, that was The Tower by Faith and Failure. That song, you guys, is pretty brutal. Let's go over just a little bit more of those end lyrics there. You know, I was gonna stop it, but then like it kind of kept changing, and I'm like, but I don't want to like change this feeling that I'm feeling right now. Like I wanted to keep it going. So I let it go out. I'm kind of glad we did because that was a fun ending there. But those last couple lyrics, you speed through them really fast.
Yeah, I'm an Attila fan.
Cool. Knew the blood flows through the trees in this day. I'm cursed. Terrors crawl. Just let them in.
Yeah.
Oof. They'll show you to a better end. They'll peel your face and take your skin. Their roots are stuck inside your head. I can't tell what waits for me out there. Hell. They mock me. Dude, Chad. All right. What's up with these lyrics, man?
Oh, man. He's at the point where, like, he started doing what he needs to do. He started, like, you know, putting the people out of their misery. And now at this point, he's like, what's going to happen after this? You know, like as sure, like, as anyone, like, everyone has probably felt at some point, like, they're always thinking about, like, I'm always thinking about it, like, what's going to happen when I die? You know what I mean? Like, not to get, like, biblical or anything, but we've all thought about it, you know?
Sure.
So all the things that he's talking about, the peel the face, take the skin, you know, like, is that what hell is like? And it says hell at the end. I'm just assuming that in his library that he's been living in, that the Bible was probably in there, you know.
Okay.
We're not a faith-based band, but
well, we talk about some faith stuff.
You know, he's read every book. He probably went over that one.
Exactly.
Like, man, like, what if it's true? You know?
Yeah.
Like, where am I gonna go? Like, after I, you know, like, off myself. So it's just that fear of the unknown. Like, he's got all these things going on. The pain from being there so long. You know, he's sick of being there, but at the same time, like, I've found an answer to get out. But what's gonna happen after I get there? I think you were talking earlier, talking about that, like, that recovery process from after rock bottom, like, trying to, like, where's this going to put me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just thinking about that, like, is this going to be worse, like, for me if I do this, or, you know, is it going to be better? I don't know. Or will I just cease to exist?
So there is something that you said earlier, Chad, that I did want to go back to real quick. You had said that when you are writing the lyrics, you try to get in the mind or like the mindset of the character.
Yes, that is correct.
Are you often your own character in your songs?
So it's funny, we were talking about this earlier. So, like, yes, some of the stories are based off of experiences, but they get kind of dark and twisted along the way. But like, The Fields, that song, like, if you look at, like, that cover art, the kid on the front, like, I'd like to think, like, that's me. And we actually did record that after, like, my kind of rock bottom era.
Okay.
But like, oh, what am I trying to say? Like, that was kind of like, I had kind of a drug kind of thing going on. So that it was, like, based off that, but it was like, okay, like, I've started this recovery process, like you were referring to, like, so here's how it's going. Like, that's really what it was. It's like, The Fields was a song, like, it was like I need to be rescued kind of song, which is what that kind of concept is. He's like going out in a field. He finds a door to another dimension, one of these dimensions that we keep talking about, and like a demon ends up finding him, and like I guess you could say like the demon was like the drug addiction, like hang out with the wrong friends kind of metaphor. Which in the story, the like dad, like the parent figure, like goes and saves him. So yeah, in that song, yeah, for sure. But earlier today we were talking, me and the bass player. And we were talking about the Stan character, and we were talking about kind of future stories, because we do that from time to time, because he does the art and I do the stories. So, but it's something that we talk about a lot. Like, how can we incorporate like other stories into this one big continuous story that we have going on right now? Like I said earlier, like a lot of the songs are linked together, you know. So we were talking about the idea of the Stan character in the tower. Like maybe that's like an imprisonment for me in a different like universe or something like that. But you know what I mean.
One thing that I think is
like a Marvel kind of multiverse thing. Like you know how like there's an evil Doctor Strange. Like you know, what if it was like that kind of thing?
I think it's really unique that, Chad, you can take past experiences and your own rock bottom and not only use those experiences to write music, but it seems like you are writing a different universe where you can almost leave them at.
Yeah, and that's the like.
It's like,
I say
your drug thing can be like, oh, that was Stan, that wasn't me. And this new story is where that guy lives. And it's a really interesting way to kind of disconnect from that part and look at things differently and leave it behind. It's very interesting. I like that a lot.
That's why, you know, and I've said those words a lot, like, you know, creating a world where you can escape like all the normal problems going on. And like, that's why like Dio's lyrics, like Dio didn't like write about like what was going on at the time. He's like, oh, like you know, check out this wizard, or you know, this dragon. You know, that's what those songs were about. You know.
Yeah.
And Rush was kind of doing that too, but like everybody else was like, oh, let's do cocaine and party because there's nothing else to do, you know. And Dio was like, nah, man, like wizards.
Before these characters are made and before the songs are written, how has, and this can, you know, totally be for both of you because I bet it's different. How does music help kind of heal you in a way? How does it help with your mental health? And how do you guys view that whole process of using the music as kind of a therapy for yourself and to help get you through what you're going through in life? Like, what's that connection like for you?
For me, it's what I do, I guess. I've always been really fortunate. I've not really had mental health struggles in my life. Not saying that like I've never been, you know, sad or anything, but I can think of like maybe 1 or 2 times in my life where I've gone through like a bout of depression. You know, I don't have like an anxiety issue or anything, so I'm very thankful for that kind of stuff. Just because you know, I've always grown up around a lot of people, a lot of friends, you know, family members, you know, my wife, you know, for example, just people who have just certain issues that they deal with, and you know, you learn how to, you know, basically help them however you can and stuff. So music, it seems to be something that helps a lot of people. So for me, like, I guess I engage with music more from like an analytical perspective.
Sure.
Like when I was younger, I wasn't listening to music and like, oh, what's the time signature? What's this? Well, you know, yada yada. What are these influences or whatever? But once I started playing music and studying and went to school for music and everything, my mind just sort of switched. So for me, it's more of like, it's it like ticks that box where I can always try to like learn more things. I love to learn stuff, you know, and so like if I listen to a song, I'm not really listening to it just as like a passive thing. I'm always paying attention to like little things and like trying to put myself in like the shoes of the people who wrote that song and
Yeah.
you know, what would I have done, you know, sort of a deal. And it's nice because like it helps me with writing as well too, because then I get ideas from certain things. But it's really funny because my wife will always say that like when I'm listening to music or like if we go to a show or something, she tells me that I look like I'm having like the worst time of my life because I'm just sitting there just like
But your brain's probably going a million miles an hour with
that's what I
everything.
told her. I'm like, you know, like I'm enjoying what's going on, but I'm oh, what was that? What was this? You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, they did this and this came back. Oh, they switched a chord here, you know, whatever, like things like that. Like I'm enjoying it, but like I guess
You're like studying it.
Yeah, I have like a resting bitch face, I guess, you know, when we're there or whatever. And but it's fun. Like it's just. I don't know how to turn it off. You know, I can't just listen to a song passively.
I don't think you can turn it off.
No, but I love it. I really do. And it's like, and what I like about that too is like I can go back to music that isn't, you know, necessarily new and listen to stuff and relive that whole like process of trying to figure things out or whatever, even if it's something that's 30 years old or whatever. Or the other nice thing is too, is just listening to stuff that's not in the rock, punk, metal genre, you know. I studied classical guitar for 4 years. So, you know, in music school, we studied a lot of jazz stuff. We studied a lot of the composers. So, like, I'll sit down and listen to some of that stuff from school and again, it kind of like, it just re-engages all those things again. But I'm a fan of, like, the idea that you can learn something from everything. And one of the reasons why I think musically our stuff sounds a lot different from a lot of the bands that we play with at a show or whatever is that I'm not trying to write a song just through the lens of like, well, we're this band, so we have to do this, you know. Like when we talked earlier and I just told you, I'm like, I just say we're a modern metal band because I don't know how else to describe us, you know. But what's cool about that is you can try a lot of things, and you know. But I think there's the nice part of being able to do a bunch of different things, but still make it cohesive to where it's like it is the same person or same band or whatever, you know. And I think a lot of that comes from just kind of how I listen to music. Like I've got my favorite bands, you know. I could give you a top 10 list and my top 10 favorite albums and stuff, but like. I don't necessarily listen to those just because, you know, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna go, I have a road trip, so I'm gonna listen to my favorite music. Like I'm in the car listening to things and going, oh, that was cool, what was that, you know, or whatever. So that's kind of how I've always engaged with music personally. And you know, I'm very thankful for that. But I mean, there have been times like, you know, where like you have a breakup or something and maybe you kind of latch onto a song that kind of helps you get through, you know, a couple days or whatever until you're like, okay, you know what, like I'm fine. Yeah. But yeah, no, a lot of the stuff is just like, I respect and love the craftsmanship of creating music.
Yeah.
And whether it's a guitar band or not, like it's just creating a song is art within itself.
I feel like throwing in a very analytical person into a metal band throws a wrench in things a little bit. But in like the best way, it just changes things up a little bit because you're able to just see it different instead of just like you said, like we're not trying to be this band and we're not doing it this way in this timing, in this tempo, or recording it this way because we're expected to. No, let's get a liquid death can and let's try to figure out different sounds from that, or let's do it in this timing, or even the pacing of the guitar solos, and it's just like having that analytical side of a band, I think is a huge benefit to any band.
I agree, and you can tell just from listening to bands, you can tell who who that is in the band.
100%.
100% of the time. And it's just I like that because I feel like, you know, these guitar players that I look up to and that are my favorite. Like, I've never met any of them, but I feel like in some way there's like a connection because, you know, with social media and stuff, like obviously you can watch them and you can kind of interact with them and stuff, but even just seeing them like on stage and stuff, you pick up on like their mannerisms and their tendencies and their things like that, and you can kind of tell like, oh, you know, I think I know where this came from or whatever. And,
Yeah.
And it's a unique kind of a thing in its own right. But yeah, it's like, you know, like I don't like, I've had this conversation like with our producer before, and because a lot of the times, especially when we first start going with him, he's like, you know, you sure you want these songs to be this long? You sure you need to do this or do this? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no, the song is what it is. You know, we've already gone through, and like everybody's like, yep, this is what we're doing, you know, sort of a deal. And I think it's just over time with him, it became where he really enjoyed working with us because, you know, a lot of the bands that he was working with would come from labels and stuff. So he was working with a lot of bands who are doing a lot of the same stuff, you know, where you get those songs that kind of fall
Octane Core.
Yeah, the Octane Core stuff that fall into the like 3.5 minute, you know, stuff where everything is like pretty predictable and stuff. And there's a lot of good stuff in that. And not saying that like we don't follow like a somewhat of a script. I mean, like, you know, verse, chorus, verse, solo, bridge. I mean, like, that's a formula in its own sense. But the fact that we have songs that are, you know, 7 minutes long or 5 minutes long or whatever, or they do all these like weird things, I think just it for us it's more fun, but I think it also helps like help us stand out. And then for the people who are out there who are like myself, who like to just listen to music and like sort of analyze it and stuff, and you like things that are maybe a little bit more off the beaten path kind of a deal, like I think it can get those people, because if you can hook those kinds of people into your music, they're going to almost like out of the gate become more of a fan than just the average person is, because they're going to
they'll appreciate it. Yeah,
you know. And it's cool to even like see those people at shows. Like they'll come talk to us at the, you know, like at our merch table or something, and you know, somebody will say something every now and then about like a certain part of a song or whatever, and like I love that stuff, you know, because it's just it's sort of what I nerd out over, and you know, and so it's cool to meet other people who do that. But yeah, it's just like my big thing is the song will be done when it's done, you know. I'm not putting any constraints on it, because I think if you do that, you kill your creativity, even if it's just a small percentage. Like that extra percentage, you know, could have done something super cool, you know, that might have like completely transformed a song. Like The Tower, actually, the original version of the song, it wasn't even just his lyrics that we sort of redid and stuff, but before we even got to the point where we had a pre-pro, the song was completely different. Like the opening riff is a riff that our other guitar player Aaron wrote when he was like 14, and he's a big Bullet fan as well, and he was like, he always said he was just trying to play like a riff as fast as he could. So I remember him showing it to me because we used to get together at one of my old apartments and we would write a lot. And so like I learned it and we were trying stuff, and I had basically wrote a completely different song. And I kind of sat with it for a little bit, went back to it, hated every single thing except for the pre-chorus, which is still the pre-chorus of this song. We always call it the belly dancing part. And that was the only thing that made it. Even like his original riff, the way that we did it was different. And then we kind of, I texted him one day, I'm like, this song is shit. Like we got to go back to the drawing board on this. So he came over one night, and we were probably up till like 5 or 6 in the morning, and we just kind of, we rewrote it together. We kept the one part, but and we came up with, you know, what the song is now, and that hasn't happened a whole lot, honestly. It's very rare, because being the one who does primarily all the songwriting, with the exception of a song like here or there, when I present a song to the rest of the guys, it's pretty much like this is what it's going to be. and then obviously Chad will do his stuff with the lyrics, and we'll kick around some ideas for extra things like we're gonna add a choir or strings or whatever. Matt will do his bass lines. Like we don't, I don't do any of that stuff, and even for the drums, like with the different drummers we've had, like I write with drums specifically, so a lot of times the drum ideas are very, very fleshed out, but I'll give it to him and I'll say, okay, well, I'm not an actual drummer, you are, so like what's your take on what my idea is? And then there's a little bit of a back and forth, and occasionally there'll be something on the drums I'll be like, listen, like this beat here needs to stay, or this fill needs to stay, like other than that, like have fun, do your thing with the rest of it. So it's always a process, but this song is a really cool example because it was rewritten 2 times before we got to a point where we all loved it, and we finished it and we released it. So but again, it's a lot of that analytical stuff, because like if I listen to something and it doesn't hook my attention, it's not going to hook everybody else's attention. You have to,
it's a good way to look at it. Yeah,
like I write music that I would want to listen to, and I don't have like such a niche taste that like if I like it, like 10 people are going to like it. I feel like my taste is very widely shared, so there's a good chance that if I like it, a lot of people are going to like it, and so that's just kind of the mindset with it. This is definitely, I think, the biggest kind of a breakdown we've ever done on a song in general. So it's cool to talk to somebody about this stuff.
Until now, no one knew what the song is about.
We always joke that we didn't even know what it was about, and we're in the band.
but it's crazy though, because, and that's kind of why I was trying to pull it out of you a little bit, Cole, because I'm just like, you know what? I know what Chad is saying here. I know the story. However, when I listen to it, it takes me here. And I see it a completely different way than how Chad wrote it and even broke down to what the story was even about. I was able to disconnect myself from the official meaning to just like, oh, I'm going to relate. Now I know the story. Now I can kind of relate to myself as the Stan character and put myself in it. And what things do I have in my past that I can relate these things to? So it kind of like, it took me somewhere different, and it made me think. It made me pause in a couple seconds, a couple spots too. Like, I wonder what that was.
The Stan could be anybody. Like, we've all hurt people, and we've all wondered, like, is the world better without me? Like, I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. Like, how do I move on? Everybody's asked themselves this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to do that kind of stuff, because I mean, music, like you said, music can be many different things to many different people.
Yeah.
And I think everybody can always find meaning, like a personal meaning in something, and I think that's one of the things that makes music so great. But also what makes like a great song is because 20 people can listen to it and come away with 20 different perspectives from it. It's not just like a one size fits all sort of a deal, and that's the beauty of it. And
then you get I don't know, couple hundred people at a show watching it and singing the lyrics, and every single one of those people has a different connection with it, and they're throwing it at you guys as you guys are playing it. Like, just the emotions and just everything of how music connects people together, but in different ways.
Yeah, it's a community.
Yeah,
it's a cohesive unit. Like, you go to a show, whether you're playing the show or whether you're going to go see one of your favorite bands, like everybody there is there because they all are lovers of music. And if you're going to go see an Avenged Sevenfold, everybody is there to go see them. But like, if we're at a show, people, I mean, there'll be some people there who are there to see us, but I think it's people are there because, their friends' band's on the bill or whatever, or they're just like, they like just going to shows or smaller shows, and it's a chance to to introduce what you do to new people, to meet new people, connect with new people, kind of share that camaraderie, and if you get to be able to look from the stage and see people just like banging their head, or people maybe start pushing each other around or something, or or you just watch some people who you could just tell they're just like they're super into. They're kind of like me. You're not necessarily like super getting into it, but you can just see that they're focused. Like you've got their attention, and I think that's a special thing. Which is another reason, like with the hooks and everything, like you always want to try to have as many as you can, because if you listen to a song one time, you want to have multiple things that catch your ear, because you want somebody to go back and listen to it again. And I think great songs are great because you can listen to it multiple times and find something new that you didn't notice the first 10 times you listened to it or whatever. And I think that's also, for me, that's a lot of the fun of listening to music, is like, I'm not going to listen to a song once and catch every little detail, but I'll catch enough that make me go, okay, hey, I really like this. I'm going to listen to it again. And I might listen to a song 20 times in a row, but because I'm like my brain's lighting up because I'm noticing all these things, and so it's.
I do that all the time. I'll be obsessed with the song and just put it on repeat and listen to it all day.
Yeah, well, like
it feels so good.
We're working on new music now. Like I have a song that is. I was just basically missing a pre-chorus. Like I couldn't for the life of me connect the verse to the chorus, and I'll shelve it for a little bit and come back to it, because if you force it, you're gonna hate it anyway. So why waste the time? But the newest Ice Nine Kills song, I think it's the Joker one. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. But they do something specifically in that song that I didn't really notice at first. But when I started listening to it a little bit more, it like caught my ear, and I'm like, I love that idea. And then in my head, I'm thinking like, can I use this idea basically and kind of spin it to fit this thing that I'm trying to connect? And it's like, in my brain, it worked. And then because I was at the gym when this was happening, so I came home and I sat down and I just started playing, and I'm like, oh my god, it fit. Like you kind of get those eureka moments.
Yeah.
But that's also where like the analytical side of listening to music helps me with songwriting, because that inspiration came completely out of left field, and now it seemingly is like, okay, that was sort of the missing piece I needed for this.
Yeah.
And now it goes from a song, it's like, this is a cool idea, but like I don't know if it's gonna work, at least at this time, to like, okay, I think this is the green light. I think we're ready to go with this one, kind of a thing. So it's cool just to see how it basically affects everybody in whatever the way might be.
Yeah. Well, so you kind of already started to discuss my next question for you guys, and that was going to be, so now after breaking down the tower and learning about you guys, your influences, who you are as people, what's next? What's next for you guys? And you just said you're working on some new music. Does that mean a new EP, a new single, new album? You guys got shows coming up. What is next for you guys?
As far as the music goes, we already have the next singles ready to go. We haven't picked a date yet, but it will release in December.
Cool.
Is it Masters of the World or Universe? I always forget.
Masters of the Universe is He-Man. Masters of the World is the name of our song.
Okay. So I'll let him explain what it's about here in a second. But musically,
am I allowed to?
Yeah, I don't care.
Do we have the permission?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
So just so you know, this episode will come out at the end of next month.
Okay, perfect. So this will be a good segue into the song that comes out. So, but
yeah, this will come out probably like a week before your song.
Perfect.
Or like a couple weeks or whatever, depending when you put it out. But yeah,
happy little accident,
Yeah.
No, this is a song that this is like one of the ones I wrote way back. I think I originally started writing this one in 2016, and it was just one of those ones where like I never found a way to finish the song, and I would revisit it every so often, and it just maybe come up with a new part, but like nothing ever stuck. Like I would say 75% of the song was always there, and then it was that last 25 that I could never iron out. And I started writing it with Matt originally. I tried to write it with Aaron, and it was just it was just a song that I think I just needed to just leave alone for a really long time, and then kind of came back to it. We recorded it at some point back in the beginning of the year, I think. But it was we always called it. I always called the demo name "Buried Black," just because, like, to me, like, if you took, you know, Buried Alive from Avenged and you took Fade to Black from Metallica and they had a baby, it's this song. And so it's more ballady. It's actually our longest song. It's like 7 minutes and like 20 seconds or something like that. But he's got a really cool like story for it all lyrically, musically. It's just got a lot of fun stuff in there. We've got what we dubbed as like the John Mayer solo section in there. Like, there's a part where there's a couple sections where it's just the guitar by itself, or
Cool.
it's just a guitar and some like a female choir, and like it's a song that takes you on a cool ride, and it's got a lot of orchestral elements in it. There's like a section where there's like a more of a bass baritone like male choir, and like just a lot of different things like that. But it's got, you know, multiple guitar solos in it. Like, it's a song it's a lot of fun, and listening to it doesn't ever seem like it's as long as it is. And it's one that I think will be really cool. It'll be a nice kind of not left field from like the last two songs we've released. But I mean, we've kind of set a precedent with it with like, we have a song called The End, which is our only song at the moment that, you know, is out that's over the 7-minute mark. But it's just, I don't know, it's just it's a fun ride. And you know, I think this is the only song you don't scream in, right?
Yep, and I sing higher than Mariah Carey ever did.
I'm very interested in hearing this song. You have hyped it up tremendously.
We even did something I've wanted to do for so long, but we never did it. I did the Bon Jovi key change, just like at the end of Living on a Prayer. We just kind of forced one right in there. We did that in this song too. So,
this sounds like this is your like a little piece of heaven, but for your band. There's something that is just so seems a little bit more different and a little crazy and trying new things.
We have a little piece of heaven song. It's called Hero Part 2.
Yeah.
Which, ironically enough, it's hilarious that you mentioned A Little Piece of Heaven, because the whole middle section of that song is so inspired by A Little Piece of Heaven. Like, just the time changes and stuff. It's so much fun. That's actually been the song since it's been released. That's been our set closer.
Yeah, well, this kind of just reminded me, the eat it. It reminded me of like More Wine for some reason. I still think you guys should do a More Wine t-shirt run with like a vampire, like, you know, drinking like a glass of wine.
I'm going to call Matt right after this, and I'm going to talk to him about it for 4 hours.
I'm going to love you.
I honestly think this would be such a dope design for you guys. Anyway, was there something that you wanted to say about the upcoming music, Chad?
Like I already said, I sing higher than Mariah Carey ever did.
That's dope.
Cole said I don't scream at all, and that is true. Well,
you definitely have a good singing voice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. That is important. We ended up doing this song instead of another song that I was working on, and then I was like, Cole, we got to do this song. We still haven't done that song, but we will. This one's sick. But during the time I was playing this sick video game, it's called Project Warlock, and I was like, dude, this game's freaking hard. The whole first level, like, you just have an axe, and there's like bats that are flying at you, and they're shooting like blood drops at you that hurt you. And when you die, you have to start the whole game over, and you just have a melee weapon. So you gotta dodge all the. So it's about not wanting to die. But as I was doing it, it also kind of became like not like kind of a conspiracy, like kind of theorist, like kind of thing, but like kind of like the idea that like there's 10 people sitting at a table, running the entire world and everything's like fake, that kind of vibe. That's what it's got.
I dig it.
Sick. And it's
And
a
that's
ballad.
perfect for right now, actually.
It's a ballad that's not like a love song or anything. It's just like let's go into it. And it's sick. I love it.
It'll be a fun one. I think, like I said, I mean, the last two songs have been stylistically very similar, but this one's kind of like, way out in left field. But like we mentioned earlier, like it's still us, even though it's not, what people might expect. And like the artwork and stuff is cool for it too, because it's done up like a retro video game. And
hell yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to our manager about reaching out to like the studio who made the game to let them know, like, hey, we did this song lyrically, it's inspired by your game, and see if maybe they're cool with sharing it around or something. And we're kicking around the idea of doing a music video for this one too, where he wants to see if we can maybe get like video game footage in there.
So that would be awesome.
Kind of see, obviously you got to go through the right legal channels for something like that, so I don't want to go to court. So.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal any lyrics or anything, I promise, but like this song, it's kind of like the game of life, but it's rigged, you know what I mean? Because it's like kind of what it felt like playing the game. Like, I'm like, I have an axe only. I'm going to die. Like, but I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I've started over like 30 times, but the game's so sick. I want to keep playing it. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. Like, I'll play your game even though I think it's rigged because I'm having fun.
It kind of reminds me of that stupid Crazy Bird, Angry Bird game.
Angry Birds, yeah.
Where you're just like, yeah, you can keep bouncing for as long as you want, but whenever you die, you just fucking go right back to the beginning again. It's like, fuck this game.
Yep.
But I kept doing it. I kept doing it.
Yep.
It was addicting. It was.
Yeah, it really was. Cool. Well, we are stoked to hear that new music, and you guys have hyped it up tremendously in the best way. So now I can't wait to listen to it. And so you said there's no date yet, but it's in December.
It'll be December. I just got to look at a calendar, basically. So I got to see what Friday makes sense. So.
Is there a Friday the 13th in December?
Yeah.
That's when you would do it, but
we don't want to release it on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta get our manager to get permission to use some video game footage. That'd be sick.
So we got some of that stuff too.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. We still, like, with what is our current release, Troubled Times, like, there's still some promotion and stuff we want to do to push it before we sort of shift focus and promote something new. Because Troubled Times has been probably one of our fastest growing songs, honestly, between like YouTube and Spotify and whatnot, and
TikTok now.
TikTok, yeah, a lot of stuff. So it's done quite
Dad's
well.
TikTok.
So,
well, Cole, you've done it again. You've led us directly to what my next question was going to be. So if people want to listen to your music or follow you guys, where can they go listen to you? Where can they find you? You just said Spotify. You said a couple other things, but
yep.
give us the spiel on where we can find everything you guys are doing.
So, Spotify, obviously, Apple Music. I mean, all the big streaming services, Amazon Music, Tidal, whatever, Deezer, we're on all that. YouTube as well. So our YouTube channel just recently got verified, which is cool. So
hell yeah,
we got all the topic videos got combined and everything. So so we're on there as well. And then as far as social media goes, Instagram and Facebook, we're at Official Faith and Failure, and then like TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, it's just Faith and Failure. So you can follow us on there. We do have a website right now that we are going to be pulling to redo. We have an online merch store that's being redone as well, so we're going to have a brand new merch store with a kind of a re-grand opening sale with we've got a merch drop. One of the new designs actually we've been having at shows So, we've it's gone really well. We've sold quite a lot of it, but we got some new designs, some new options, offerings, etc. So, but we'll have that. We'll have a new website as well here very, very soon. We're just waiting on. I keep getting copies of emails of chat logs between the print service and our manager because there's like seemingly this error that they cannot fix for whatever reason.
Damn.
So it was supposed to be launched like 2 Fridays ago. So we're at the point now that once it gets set, we're going to basically just kind of launch it the next day. But we've got like
cool. Yeah, you guys are ready.
Yeah, we got the merch drop stuff for it. I mean, we're already planning winter merch drops, and we've got merch for the new song and everything coming out.
Hell yeah.
We'll be doing full, kind of going full force with that. But we'll be doing like a mailing list stuff too. So we'll be doing a lot of like opportunities for people to get coupons. So if you want to buy stuff online, because it's all print to order, and you can ship it anywhere globally too. So we'll do some stuff with like pre-saving for the new song once it gets announced, where you can get some stuff like that. Also sign up for an email list. So if you want to buy, maybe we'll have that shirt idea that you had, stock to Matt. And if we do, we can hook you up with a discount code.
Yes.
So you can get a little bit cheaper just at the thing. But yeah, so there's all that stuff, and we've got some shows in the works for next year already, where we have our submissions going into like all the big festivals, South by Southwest, all the Danny Wimmer stuff, Rocklahoma, Rockfest in Wisconsin, like all that stuff. So fingers crossed we get accepted some of those. Especially with like Sonic Temple and Incarceration being right in our backyard.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
So it'll be cool, and it seeming like we have good odds. A couple of the bands that we are on the label with were on them this past year, and there's a couple other cool like smaller kind of festival things that we're gonna be added to that like our manager has a good hand in as far as putting together, including I don't know if you saw it, but I had never heard of this before. But they just did this thing in Canton, Ohio, like at the Pro Football Hall of Fame Stadium, where it was an MMA, but everybody was dressed up in suits of armor. It's called like AMA, I think.
No,
it's MMA cage fighting, but everybody's dressed up in suits of armor. It's like an old medieval thing. They did it in the football stadium festival. And they got Lamb of God was headlining it, and they got like sleep. Yeah, they got Sleep Theory, and they got Drowning Pool. And then it was like our manager's band, and then like 2 other bands that are on the label with us. It was like something that they reached out to him to put on.
That's amazing. That sounds so rad.
It's so random, but it was so cool. Like I kept seeing like all the videos and stuff from it. But I was talking to him on our call this past week, and he said that it went really well, and they want to do it again. So the plan is to do it next year and make it a little bit bigger. And so there's like things like that we have a shot of being with and everything.
Yeah.
So it's shaping up for next year to be a good year for us.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
stuff too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it sounds like you guys have a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of stuff to be excited for, to promote. So with everything going on right now, I definitely appreciate with how busy you guys are. I appreciate you sitting down and chatting with me about the tower and breaking it down like you said that you never have before. So that's pretty cool that you guys were able to have that experience here on this podcast, because I'm sure the listeners and your fans are going to love to hear this.
Yeah.
So thanks for doing it, and keep us all updated.
If you ever want to break down another song, let us know.
Hell yeah, I would. Maybe the new one coming out. We'll see.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
And go Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
My family's from the Pittsburgh area.
Well, if it was the Blue Jackets Pittsburgh game, I'm on the Pittsburgh team.
He did wear.
Oh, okay. Well then,
at our
well then, go Penguins then.
We just did a show with Tapper, and he actually wore a Rick Nash Columbus Blue Jackets hockey jersey.
No, it's not. It's actually custom to just say Nash on it. There's no number or anything.
I did see that. I saw that on your Instagram, and that's why I said go Jackets. But then you had to switch it up and say you're more of you're a Penguins fan.
Only in the rival game. Only in the rival game.
All right. We got to stop this nonsense. All right. That's a wrap. Thank you guys so much. It was good hanging out.